Hello and welcome. My name is Kia and I'm coming to you from Sweden in a small village outside of Gothenburg. This is my podcast, my channel here on YouTube, where I share with you my crafty life. And I am a knitter and a spinner mainly, so there is often knitting and spinning on this channel. On social medias you can find me as Ciasbod on Instagram, on Ravelry, and I have also got a website, Ciasbod.se, where I will put up this video with links to all the things I talk about today. That is available as a link. I'm also on Ko-fi and on Patreon if you want to support my work with this channel, and I'm super grateful, of course, for those of you who are supporting me on my Patreon. Today there will be some finished objects, there will be some new cast-ons, and I will share my progress on the things that I have going on that you have seen before perhaps. So shall we start this episode with what am I wearing today? And there is two knitted garments on today, and the first one is my Felix cardigan by Amy Christoffers. This is a couple of years old, I think, and I remember when we took the photos, we took them this time of the year because it was by the apple tree out here. And the apples were so red and beautiful, and they are now as well. So I think it got finished at the same time this season when I knitted it. And yes, knitted in let loopy, and I did a little bit shorter sleeves on this one just because this transition time, autumn, before you want the really long sleeves. I have so many sweaters that I feel like if I do something different on them, there will be another time to wear them. If I always do the same, they will be they don't fit the different kind of occasions. But this is a nice length, I think. You don't get the warmth down here, and that gives you a little bit more air. Not so warm. I don't know if you are familiar with this pattern, but it's a very popular pattern still, and it's often in the front pages on Ravelry by the top, the most popular patterns. And I think it's because it's knitted on 6mm needles, and you have this interesting lace in the raglan line here that keeps you motivated to knit the yoke. And still there is a lot of just simple knitting, mindless knitting. So I think it's a super nice. I have knitted quite a few of these Felix cardigans, and I really like the design. So that is the first finished, no, not finished, that's the first thing that I'm wearing today. And underneath here I am wearing my Lorette sweater that I finished not so long ago. It was, I don't know, after the previous podcast I just decided to get the sleeves done. And it's so nice. It's knitted in a linen cotton blend, and it's really thin, knitted on 2.5mm needles, and with the lace yoke and everything. So I'm really glad. As you can see here, I knitted it as a t-shirt with the shorter sleeves, and with this beautiful lace on the yoke here, and quite a good length for jeans, I think. Not overdresses perhaps, but for trousers, for jeans or a skirt or something, really nice. In the pattern there is stripes all over the body, and there is also long sleeves on this sweater. It's meant to be knitted as wool sweater, but I like the lace yoke here, and I wanted to make one more summer sweater before autumn comes. So I'm just using it as the last thing here before we go into the more colder times. So yes, done, and it only took 260 grams of this, and it's on 2.5 millimeter needle. So I think I got quite far. I got a good sized sweater with less than 300 grams. I was a bit worried there if I should have enough yarn, but it came out fine. So I still have a small ball of it, 40 grams left. But yeah, really glad to take the time and knit on small needles, and you get a nice fitted garment, and it's not see-through. If I would have gone up to 3 millimeter or 3.5, I would have had a see-through sweater, but now it's not, so I'm glad. I'm really glad with this one. And Lorette's sweater the designer is called Nadia Cretin Lechen. I will put links on my website so you can easily go and find it. And I'm really tempted to make myself a woolly version with the stripes this time, as the designer has done it. So we shall see. I have a lot of other things in the plans now, so we shall see if I get there. But that's what I am wearing today, and I have also got more finished objects this time, and it's not so usual, but there has been some small projects, so that has gone quite quickly. And as you can see up here, I am done with the small slipovers for the children. Lulu pullover, I think they are called. Or Lulu slipover, maybe. It's a design by Petit Knit, and we were visiting my husband's grandchildren in Copenhagen, and they are 2 girls and 1 boy, but for the 2 girls I wanted to make for autumn now. I think it's a nice thing to wear over a t-shirt or over a dress or over anything, just to give some extra warmth. So I made one in a Shetland yarn with mohair with this one, and this was alpaca yarn, and also the lighter purple here is a cotton wool blend, so they don't feel quite the same. One is a little bit softer with the mohair, but alpaca is also soft. So there is 2 warm, lovely slipovers for autumn. And with this pattern, first of all, I took the time to learn the Italian bind off. I know a lot of people have done this for a long time, but I have not, since I often come up with my own designs or patterns when I knit. I don't do the Italian bind off. I have done other bind offs, but in the pattern it said to sew the Italian bind off, and I thought that why not on a small project? I can take the time and do so. So there is Italian bind offs on this around the sleeves and the neckline, and also in the end here. And something else is that I actually took the time and learned was double knitting, because the button bands here on the sides are knitted on 2.5 millimeter needles and with double knitting, and that was also very time consuming, but on a small project you just had a little bit here, and it was really nice to sit and yeah, you know, feel that you took the extra time and the extra effort to do something that turned out really, really nice. And I picked out wooden buttons for both the garments, and I also had the leather tags. If you remember, I used to have a web shop with the things, yarns and small things, accessories and so, and I still have some of the leather tags left, so I thought it's a nice detail to put on, just to give it that extra feeling of, you know, put in a little bit more effort to make it look, yeah, special, really nice. So both of them have leather tags and wood buttons here, and yeah, I'm really glad. For this, it was a lot of leftover yarns, and this red was from a cone, and yeah, it was really hard to figure out how much yarn did I use. But for this one, I had 2 skeins of drops mohair for the grey hair, and I didn't use 2 skeins, so around 400 meters, I should say, of yarn for each slipover. And the size I knitted was 6 to 7 years, so yeah, around 400 meters. And that's a fingering, you know, if you have a fingering sock yarn, 1 skein, that would be perfect for a little slipover like this. Really nice. We often wonder what to do with those one skein of hand-dyed fingering weight yarn. You could use with 1 mohair and create a small slipover like this for grandchildren or your own children perhaps. So I'm really glad with both of these, and that I took the time to learn some new techniques, and also, yeah, doing the small extra things to make them look a little bit more special perhaps. So I will hang them again. I think they look nice, so they can hang behind me. I'm in the mood right now to do a lot of gift knitting. I have so much things for me already knitted, so I think it feels really good to knit for other people right now. And I know that can change, but right now it feels really good not to keep on knitting things for me. So that's 2 gifts done. And I am also knitting a blanket for my granddaughter. Her birthday is in October, in the end of October, so I still have a month. But I showed you this blanket in my previous episode, and after recording I really got inspired to do some more work on this blanket. I really could see the end. As I was talking about it, I thought that why not just put in a little bit of time to this and maybe perhaps get it done to her birthday. That would be so nice. So I think I knitted like 10 centimeters or something like that, perhaps a little bit more, and I have come up with the perfect ending to this blanket. So I'm motivated now. I feel that I'm close to the end. And the blanket, it's something I come up with myself, and you start with in the middle here, and then you work with 4 decrease points, and you just keep on increasing. So you just work on every second row, you do increases, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I have decided, since it's quite heavy now, and it's a little bit, it's a lot of, you know, moving around the stitches and doing, yeah, it doesn't feel pleasant to knit on. I will do one more repeat of the pink time and I will do the pink, and then I will do one round with the white and then bind off in the white, And then I was watching a Swedish podcast. She had been crocheting a cardigan, and she crocheted ribbing as button bands, and that looked so interesting. And I thought that if I bind off everything, I can crochet like 10 centimeters as a border on this one, and that will be nice. I will not have to move around all the live stitches on this needle anymore. I can bind everything off, and then I can start to crochet, and for every time I come to the blanket, I crochet together with one stitch on this. So as you can see, it's about 1 meter, half of it, so it should be 2 meters, and then with a nice border in the white, I think it will be good. So I see it, I can vision the final project, and that's good, because that gives me motivation to finish. If I don't really see the end, then I can't really see clearly how am I supposed to finish this one. It's very hard to motivate myself. So now I feel motivated to finish this one, and that would be nice. Also gift knitting, really lovely. The white is a hand spun that I done. It's a rainbow wheel that I plied with a white yarn that I spun. So it's a little bit more subtle, not so hard in contrast. So really nice. After my previous English podcast, I had a question from one of you that was inspired to knit Visah. The Swedish company Ciasbod, they had a lovely summer tee that was knitted in stockinette stitch for the body, and then with a lace border. And I also took this sweater and finished the lace. I was working with the lace, back and forward like this around it, and it turned out way too big. I can show you. I had the feeling all along that this feels really big. I don't think that this will be good, and it didn't. As you can see, I tried this one on, and I think that this would have been the right size. But I also have this here, that's too much, so I wanted to show you this, but I have decided I have to rip this one out, because the yarn I am using is also super stretchy, and I was thinking perhaps half would have been enough, but a little bit more than half, I think. So this one will be ripped out and started again. And you started with a provisional cast on, and you knit first the body, and then you pick up the provisional cast on and you knit the lace back and forward. So what I did was to knit the first 100 grams for the body, and that will mean that it will be longer for the body, since I will have all of this yarn put on the length instead. And I have also realized that I knitted two together for the body, I had a sequence that I did it, but I will do it more often, so it won't be super flowy, the bottom part here. So there is things to learn from this first mistake. There will be more knit two together at a more frequent time. In the pattern it says every time you go up, but that doesn't look good. So I think I will do the knit two together after every chart. I think I did it after every second shot or something in this one, but I think after every shot, or perhaps 2 times in the shot, so I can get a little bit less flowy here. So that's the process with the Sommarvisa linen. I will rip it out and I will start again, but it will be nice when it's done, and I know it will be done. Like if I just finished it off now and I wouldn't be happy, that would be a shame. So I will rip it out and I will do it like 50 stitches or something. I will definitely count the stitches that I need to take off to get a good size. So I will make it a nice fit this time. So that's how this one is going. It's a lovely top t-shirt, but I think I will be happy with myself if I just rip it out and do it again. The yarn I am using is Woolly Wood from Novita, and it's tencel and wool in this, and it's DK, so it's a little bit thicker, and an autumn t-shirt definitely, both color-wise and thickness, and with a cardigan over I can wear it for the winter as well. So I think I will be quite pleased with myself if I just act like an adult now and do the right thing, rip it out and do it again in the right way this time. It's really hard. I knew it all along. I had the feeling all along that this will be too big, but I kept on going hoping that some kind of magic would just make it. No, it didn't. Magic didn't happen. I will have to rip it out and start again. So that's also something. I am also knitting the Amy slipover from Sannes. This. And the mother of these girls, she's getting the Amy slipover. And I have started. The back piece is done here. And it is beige, quite boring, held together with this nice brown. I think it's a nice brown, like a squirrel. You call it that in English, squirrel. Really lovely. So I am working on this, and the back piece is done now. You start up here with the shoulders and you knit down. So I have now finished the length of the ribbing, but I will put them on a hold, because first of all I'm not sure about the length, and second it's Italian bind off with 2 knits and 2 purls. And I don't know how to do that, so I will have to look it up on YouTube. And before I put in that kind of work to the ending, I want to know that it's the right length. So I will put it on wires, and I will knit the front piece. I do all the rest of the slipover before I do the bind off, and then I can do the bind off for both front and back piece at the same time. But yes, that is how far I am on Amy slipover, and the pattern is a 1 size, so it will be good for me to knit this according to pattern and try it on and see if it's too small for me. Perhaps I will have to knit on bigger needles, thicker yarn, or just add stitches perhaps. And definitely length, I think. I will try this one on when it's done and see if this is a fit that is good for me, or if I will do some changes in the pattern. But it's ongoing, and yeah, it's a mindless knit actually. It's not, there is some stitches to, you do some knits and purls here, so you get some kind of ribbing. Otherwise it's just knits and purls back and forward. So it's mindless, really nice. So I'm looking forward to get that one done. But there is not a lot of things here for me. And the previous episode I showed you that I was gifted yarn from Ciasbod to knit something from their latest collection. And I picked this, it's just a simple plain sweater knitted from the bottom and up. And I was gifted the female version, but I am actually knitting it for my husband. So they made a mistake. They assumed it was for me, but I'm making it for my husband. And it is in Ciasbod Swedish wool 3-ply, and my husband got to choose the color, and he wanted a brown sweater. And this is 3-ply, and it's DK, and it's really, really nice. And after washing, this yarn turns out so lovely. I have made several garments in this yarn, and I just love it. So this will be nice, and the body is done. I'm taking measurements from one of his favorite sweaters, so I know that it will be long enough, both the sleeves and the body. And the first sleeve, it's not quite done yet, but I have done all the increases, and I knitted up 100 grams of the yarn. So I will knit the second one to the same length, and then I will measure from his sweater how much more will I have to add on the sleeve. There will be more, I know, he has long arms, but 100 grams is knitted for the first sleeve, and I have started the second sleeve. And this is a perfect project when I go to perhaps take it to work, and I get some minutes here and there to just knit some plain knitting. So not in a hurry with this one, because he has sweaters, and I really want to get the Amy slipover done and sent away to Copenhagen, so they can get also the slipovers. I want to send them as the gifts. But my husband's sweater is coming along slowly, and that's fine, really nice. I also got one skein of 4-ply Swedish wool as a gift. Also showed it to you in the previous episode, and I was wondering what to do with that skein, and I found a Mitten, also free pattern. All Ciasbod's patterns that I show you now, they are free on edna.se, and I will have links to the patterns, and there is English versions as well. And this is just a plain mitten, but it was also something to learn here, because the cast on was it's called liksidig cast on. I'm not sure about the English word here. It's same, looking alike on both sides cast on. And it was a little bit fibbly, so I had to check YouTube all along to get the cast on right. But this is, I'm not sure if you can see here, but it gets a really nice cast on. It's rounded, like Italian perhaps. Maybe it is. It's a round cast on here. And starting off with this, what do you say, knit stitches. Do you call this? We call it rillor. I'm not sure about the English words. And then this lifeline thumb here, and just plain. And the first one is done, as you can see, and I'm making the second one before I do the thumbs, because I want to know that the yarn will will be enough for 2. It says around 100 grams, and that makes me nervous. If it should say, of course it's different, I understand, not all hands look the same, but it would have been nice if they would just say that you will have enough for 2 mittens. That's fine. But now I will make 1 mitten and the second mitten, and then I will do the thumbs with the leftover yarns. Otherwise I will have to improvise with some other yarn for the thumb perhaps, and that would be okay. I realized when I was looking for needles that I don't have enough of 3.5 on the DPNs. So I found a square, you know, they are not round, they are like a square. Have you knitted with this? I found it a little bit hard on the hands. They say it should be ergonomic, but I'm not sure that I agree. For me it was a little bit, it was different. Perhaps my hands didn't recognize the needles, but I didn't find them enjoyable. But I didn't have any more 3.5 that I could find. So I'm making them on the square formed needles. So I will have to cast on the second one, because once the cast on is done, that I have done from YouTube the cast on, I will have easier, it will be easier for me just to knit, but to get the cast on done would be nice. So it's a quick knit, really quick. Mittens, small project. I'm not there yet. I realize I'm not with the socks and the mittens, but I hope to get there. I still enjoy the bigger projects, and this is small enough for me right now. But okay, I think I have taken you through all my knitting. I have been spinning a little bit since I talked to you the last time. I have been spinning actually 400 grams of merino silke, and it's 200 grams. And they were not exactly the same, the plates, so I decided to spin one braid on one bobbin and the other braid on the other bobbin, and then ply them together. And really thin. I was a little bit worried when I was plying that it got too thin. It's quite, I'm not sure what to do with too thin, but after washing and after drying they bloomed a lot, so I think we are now on a good size here, a thickness of the yarn. And it's so lovely to look at all the combinations when you spin two different like this, and how they match up with different colors. You can stare. You can stare at the colors for a very long time, I must say. And 400 grams like this is enough for a long sleeved sweater for me. So that will be lovely. Really nice. And I hope to find inspiration to cast this one on during the autumn. I'm not sure, I hope, but it also feels a little bit like spring, don't you think? It's more of the spring colors, so perhaps on the other side of Christmas. We shall see. It's really nice. I'm also looking forward to go up to my hand-spun yarns and just have a look around. That would be really lovely to cast on something really autumnal now in the hand-spun yarn. I think I will save this for spring actually, but it's really lovely. I will still hang it. We have started, it's cold in the nights, so we have started to have fire in the wood stove in the kitchen. So it's hanging above the wood stove, so it dries off. Gets a little bit smell of that indoor fire. Yeah, really nice. So that is what I have been spinning on the e-spinner. I also have a project going. I'm not sure if you remember the Tour de Fleece spin that I did. I got a kit from Regenbogen Wolle in Germany. She had, I think it was 25 grams on each color every day throughout Tour de Fleece. And I spun on my supported spindles and made small minis with all the colors, like 20 colors, and it was just so much fun. And I realized that all those colors will not be enough for one sweater. I spun a little bit thicker, so I wanted it to be a little bit, you know, airy and fluffy. So I decided that I wanted a complement for those colors to make it last for a project. And I got 2 of these braids from my friend Emma Garnbyrån, and I decided that I will spin this on supported spindles as well, so I can combine them with the yarns that I have already spun. And I divided it lengthwise in 4, and I made a lot of, you know, little nests like this. And they looked like chocolate ice cream. They looked very tasty, but they also looked very much alike. All of them the same, and the beige and the brown, and I wasn't super inspired. So I have been looking at this for a long time, and I started to spin one spindle, and not super happy, I must say. I brought them to Norway, and that's where I got some inspiration to spin. But then it was just not happening. It didn't make me happy at all to look at all the beige and the brown. So I have been thinking and thinking, you know, the mind works, and I have tried to find out something. How can this make me happy? And I bought myself 2 new spindles, and that made me happy. And I was on Etsy, and I'm often on Etsy looking for supported spindles, and I have been having my eyes on these colorful, you can't see, but on the inside of this it's like a yellow flower. But lovely supported spindles with metal tips, and they spun up really lovely. And after spinning both of these 2, I got so inspired. I got in the mood, you know, I was in the right mood to sit. I was feeling relaxed, I wasn't stressed, I was just feeling calm. And I spun up 8 of these supported spindles. A full plate, I'm so happy. So there is now only enough fibers for one more spindle, and then I'm done with the 200 grams, the first 200 grams. I'm not sure if I will need the second 200 grams, but that will be a later problem, I think. Right now it's I have finished the first, and that was my first goal, and then I can get started with this sweater and see how far it will get me. Of course I will have to do the plying now, but I'm really glad I come this far with these fibers. Really nice. And the first the spindles I got now was from yarnspindle.etsy.com, and I will link to this shop. Not very many spindles left, but he had also, you know, like hanging drop spindles, not only supported. And I got these without the bowl because I have a lot of I'm using like the balls that I have. I have quite a few, and I also have like ceramic balls, small balls that I can use. So I didn't mind that it was without the bowls. That's okay. I have also been using this. This is also a super lovely spindle from Spindle Shop in Australia, and I have been trying to get my hands on one more of this, because you know I have said I want them in pairs, and this one doesn't have a friend, and I really would love for him to have a friend, and it's very hard. He sells out all the time really quickly, but really lovely. And look at that wood, so nice. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's something from local from Australia. Really love this one. I have also got two of my spindles from Björn Peck, the Swedish spindle maker. Really lovely, beautiful. And there is another Swedish spindle maker called Mats Karlsson, and these two are from him, and this one is a little bit heavier in the bottom, and this one is a little bit plain, not so much wood here. But I really like, I have found now when I spin on the different kinds, I really like when they are a little bit heavy in the bottom. I get a nice twist on them, and I know it's personal what you prefer and not, but I like it. So these are also Swedish spindles. And the last one that I have here is from Cravelli, and I have one more of this, but it's a smaller one, so I took this one to spin on for this project. And the final, I have 4 small fiber dots like this, and they will go on this one. And I have bought this one from a private person, so I'm not sure where this one comes from. Where is it made? I don't know, but it's quite a big one, and I know there will be room for these 4 stripes. So as you can see, they are long small stripes like this. So that will be done when I edit my videos today. I can sit and spin and watch, and just you know, when I have to cut something away or so, make a little clip in any way in the video. So, and I can spin and watch and see if everything looks and sounds okay, and then I will be done. I think I will be done with this spin today, and that feels really nice. Such a big project it has been, both the amount of fibers, but mostly a big project to handle in the head. Same color on spindles on this in this brown. If it would have been, you know, like I did on Tour de Fleece with all the different colors, it keeps me motivated and happy every day. But it was very hard to get motivated with brown and brown and brown, same brown every day. I love this color. I think it looks totally amazing with all the shiftings in this. But it didn't bring me happiness every day. Not like the different colors did every day. But I have done it. I have managed to overcome all the the difficulties that I saw in this project, and feeling really pleased with it. Okay, I think that this is what I had for you today, and I did a little autumn plate here. It's the geraniums, the lasting, the autumn pieces of them. I also brought hortensia. Do you call this hortensia? I think it looks so lovely. Really, really beautiful. All the pinks and everything. There is also rönnbär, the red berries here, and the apples from the trees, and they look, yeah, just autumnal and beautiful. So that is my autumn inspiration here beside me. Okay, friends, let's call it a day, and I hope that you are enjoying autumn as well, and that you are bringing out your autumn garments now, and also mittens and hats, and start to look through all the beautiful things that you have in your wardrobe that you have already made. And I will see you again in October. Bye bye!
This tale is true. As it starts, the moon is young, and you will hear the story of the lady who began the legend that you're listening to. Deep in the water she was, it was the lady of the lake, that pretty lady of the lake. Well, it's well known, the story of the sword and of the stone. A king will stand up and sit on his throne, to rule a people who had lost their own way to be free and happy. It was the lady of the lake, that pretty lady of the lake. I don't know her, no one knows this lady's magic here, of that there is no doubt. This lady, she's magic, show your face, my dearest darling lady. Dear lady, oh my darling lady, hold my hand and let me pull you out. The lady of the lake, that pretty lady of the lake. I don't know her, no one knows this lady, magic here, of that there is no doubt. This lady, she's magic, show your face, my